Hello, welcome to this week's SEL Spotlight. I'm Mrs. Gonzalez, one of the school counselors at CCS. And today's SEL Spotlight is actually an extension of last week's Spotlight, building on some of the information that we started talking about last week on staying healthy. And as you can see, this presentation has accordingly been labeled Part 2. This My Plate may be familiar to many of you, especially if you tuned in to last week's SEL Spotlight. And if you remember correctly, it's a chart that reflects a balanced diet because it shows us what we should have in each meal, including foods that should be eaten, as well as the amounts. And last week, we also talked about how foods you eat affect your energy levels and your ability to do things well. And if you recall last week, we briefly touched on how two other factors can affect your energy levels and ability to do things well: exercise and sleep. So those are going to be the topics that we'll be focusing on today's spotlight. And I'm going to ask you to pause in a moment, not right now, but I want you to think about these questions on your screen. Think about them for a moment and pause your video after you've read them to really think about your answers, but I'll read them to you. What does exercise do to your level of energy and flow of oxygen to your brain? What does exercise do to your bodily tissues and organs, including muscles and bones? Does the body work better if it is used more? Have you ever noticed that if you're angry or upset about something, going out and doing something often makes you feel better? Why do you think this is? So go ahead and pause. Think about your answers. And we're back. So I'm going to give you the answers, right? So the first one here, exercise actually increases your energy. It increases the flow of oxygen to your brain, which makes your mind work more effectively. Also, exercise strengthens muscles, bones, and other bodily tissues and organs, so it makes you stronger. Not only on the outside, but on the inside, just all those internal organs and everything. And then this might seem like it doesn't make sense, right? Like you're doing all this exercise, and maybe that's going to make you wear out quicker, but it's actually the opposite. The more you use your body's like a machine that works better if you put it to work a bit more. And then lastly, when we're upset about something, when we're angry, exercise actually helps relieve the body of that tension and stress. So it's one of the best things that you can do. You start sending different hormones like endorphins throughout your body. You bring more oxygen to your brain, and it just generally gives you a better sense of feeling. All right, so now that we know the importance of exercise and staying healthy, I want you to think about what you're seeing here. It says, describe the kinds of exercise or physical activities you enjoy doing. Remember that exercise doesn't necessarily need to be a sport, okay? So climbing the stairs instead of taking the elevator, or walking or riding a bike instead of riding a car are all some out-of-the-box ways that you can get your exercise in. So think about this, and then once you have your list of physical activities that you enjoy doing, I'm going to ask you to pause, and I would like to ask that you type in the video comments below what these exercise or physical activities are that you enjoy doing, so that you can share your great ideas with other people. Maybe you might be able to share something that someone else hadn't thought about. So this is a great opportunity for you to share the wonderful things that you might already be doing. So go ahead and pause now. And we're back. So now that we know what activities you enjoy doing for exercise, the next question is, how long? How long is considered a healthy, quote unquote, healthy dose of physical activity? How long do you think is the ideal amount of time? Drum roll. 60 minutes. Young people such as yourself should exercise for about 60 minutes at least most days of the week. And keep in mind that walking, running, dancing, skateboarding, etc. all count as physical activity. So I'm hoping that I didn't get you too tired talking about all that exercise, but that's actually the perfect transition into our next topic, which is sleep. Did you know that young people, such as yourself, usually need about 10 hours of sleep each night? Of course, this is going to vary from person to person, but your bodies and brains are actually still developing and need that rest. In fact, in case you didn't know, brains stop developing until about age 25, so you might still have a long way to go there. But as you can see, some of these questions here, they're actually tied to a good night's sleep, right? So some people sleep but might not be getting the rest that they need to be considered a good night's sleep. So let's take a look at these questions and think about your answers as I'm reading them to you. Is your body resting when it is digesting food? Is it easy or hard to fall asleep when you have a lot on your mind? Do light and noise stimulate your mind? What do you think? Well, your body actually cannot rest when it is busy digesting food. So don't eat any heavy meals before going to sleep. That's really a bad idea. Not only might it give you like a stomach ache, but you're not allowing your body to rest at night. And then when you have a lot on your mind, it's actually really hard to fall asleep. So in order to get you to a point where you can relax, it might be helpful to take time to write in your journal before going to bed, or do whatever you will feel will help you to get that sense of accomplishment for the day. So knowing that you're done, you've done all that you can do for that day, and knowing that you have tomorrow to tackle on the rest. And then lastly, your mind won't be able to relax if you continue to stimulate it. So if you have light and noise around you, your mind is still going to continue to be awake, so your body will continue to be awake. So you want to make sure that you're sleeping in a quiet and dark room if you can. All right, so we're almost coming to a close here with our SEL Spotlight this week. And you see your screen here, you see the My Action Plan. You can find the link to this document in the description of this video down below. And you can choose to download it or fill it out on your computer, print it. You can share it with whoever you want to share it with. But this action plan is used to plan your week with healthy meals and snacks that you plan to eat, along with physical activities that you plan to do. And if you visit the ChooseMyPlate.gov website, you can use that as a resource to help you create your lists of foods for breakfast, lunch, and snacks. And remember, the goal is to create a balanced diet. So if you need any help with that, you can reach out to an adult at home or at school with help on that activity, planning your meals. And you can actually use this My Action Plan. Once you use it the first time, or for 1 week, you can use it for planning future weeks. Okay, so this one is a new resource this week. This one is from last week, right? So here are some final key points I want to mention before signing off. When you are healthy, you look, feel, think, and do your best. Okay, that's just a matter of fact. The foods that you eat do affect your energy levels and your health. Exercising really does increase your energy. It strengthens your body and helps to relieve stress, so it helps you feel better. And then lastly, sleep is essential to good health. The amount of sleep that you get does affect your mood, your energy levels, and your performance throughout the day. So this wraps up this week's SEL Spotlight on Staying Healthy Part 2. I do want to thank you for joining us. This is Mrs. Gonzalez with the CCS Counseling Services Department, signing off.